People frequently fell onto the tracks, being crushed by the trains.
Within the first hour of research, she found 21 deaths.
Do people think he's here?
He's one of the figures that people believe they've seen looking out the window.
What do you think could be in there that's affecting people?
He has said he'd never step foot in the NRM again.
Is this the man that was seen through the window? Whoa. Are you touching Dave?
Uh-huh.
Dude, what the f***?
Okay, did you hear that?
I did. Yeah, that sounded like something slamming. Whoa. No way. Wow. Are you affecting Dave just like you affected all the others? Oh, God. This is getting creepy.
All right, Ryan, here we are. We're at the National Railway Museum in Adelaide, South Australia.
This place is incredible, and it is absolutely filled with historic railway vehicles, trains, you name it, it's in here. And this is a very unique location and a very unique climate for hauntings, because back before automobiles became exclusively popular, you had a huge emphasis on railway travel. And it was not only one of the most popular ways to travel, but it was also one of the most dangerous. People frequently fell onto the tracks, being crushed by the trains. People jumped in front of the trains purposefully. People died in transit. And there's a lot of energy that could be trapped within these vehicles, within these railway cars, that is ready to be unlocked and to be tapped into, and spirits that are ready to communicate with us.
Yeah, like you said, this was probably the most popular form of transportation. Everybody took the train, and just like cars today, there was more accidents with it.
There was, and one thing that I find particularly interesting about this location is they set up this museum to look like a railway station, ticket booths, tracks, platforms for boarding. And I think that may, if there are spirits or energies attached to the trains, it may keep them locked in, thinking that they are perpetually stationed or in transit.
Yeah, this is one of Cag and Allison's favorite places, lots of hauntings, especially when they do tours here for Haunted Horizons.
And I think we should go talk to Cag, because I think she'll give us a lot of insight into the history and hauntings of the Australian National Railway Museum.
Let's go get her.
Let's go find her.
Welcome to the National Railway Museum in Port Adelaide. The museum moved here in the 80s, and the staff and what were volunteers here were having all sorts of weird things happening. They were having the corner of the eye phenomena, they were hearing footsteps, they were seeing shadow figures. So they called in the owner of Haunted Horizons, Allison, to find out what was going off. So she wanted to do some research in this area, and within the first hour of research, she found 21 deaths just in 1 hour.
Wow.
So how many were here altogether, we really, really don't know.
Before the Railway Museum was ever thought of, this was an active rail yard to load and unload trains with goods that had just entered Port Adelaide by boat. And worker safety was not high on the list of priorities. So now, what we're left with is a possibly haunted rail yard that's been turned into a museum to display possibly haunted trains. And it doesn't take long for us to start experiencing strange things.
It's really weird coming at it from a different angle. So I'm normally doing my tour, like around this way.
Wait,
It was a car.
okay, it sounded like someone giggling.
I thought it was more of a,
Yeah, it sounded like a giggle to me.
Oh, maybe I missed it then.
Yeah, it sounded like a, yeah, like someone giggling.
We'll have to play that back and see if our cameras captured that, because that was, I heard it really clearly.
it's really weird coming at it from a different angle. Because I'm normally doing my tour, like around this way.
Wait,
because I'm normally doing my tour. I go around this way.
Wait,
It was a car.
okay. It sounds like someone giggling.
I thought it was more of a...
Yeah, this is narrow down through here.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine traveling on the railroad and only having this much space.
Welcome to the dining carriage. In here, where people have heard footsteps, shadow figures, equipment going off, seeing people walk both sides of this carriage. So like they're walking past the train, but we haven't got a platform either side of here, so you can't do that. Either that or you're about 14 foot tall. I had a lady down that end. She decided to move the chair and have her back to the far end of the carriage. She felt as though there was somebody standing behind her, and she was leaning over the table, and she kept getting further and further down because she said she felt as though the person behind her was moving over her. What really freaked her out was just before I called the end of lockdown, the chair next to her moved.
Wow.
That was it. She came running out of here. So the ladies' carriage. So in here, well, I like to put men in this one, obviously, because this is where they shouldn't be. And we've had people report having somebody standing behind the chairs. The chairs move around a little bit, so you can, they're not always against the wall. So we have somebody standing behind them. I think the most interesting thing for me, and my husband was involved in this one, we were here doing an investigation. We put all the men in here. And they were being a little bit disrespectful. They were demanding a coffee and they wanted it now. And when they asked for that, they could hear the sound of a cup and saucer being placed on the table in front of them. Men feeling as though they shouldn't be in here because they shouldn't be. So, I'll take you to the Eastern Corridor.
Yeah, let's get out of here, Dave, before someone gets mad that we're in here.
Oh, let's go.
You need to come in here later on.
Each of the engines and carriages carry their own stories. But the Haunted Horizons staff believes that some of the workers who tragically lost their lives in the rail yard may have found their way onto the trains. And CAG decides to tell us one of those stories that occurred in the early 20th century about a 16-year-old boy named George.
George Dowsett, who's 16 years old, and they'd only been working here for a few months, and it was his job to line up the carriages. Now, they used young people because they're a lot more agile than people like me. And he had to get to the trains, he had to do this, make sure they're all lined up. What he didn't realise one day, that the buffers were opposite each other, his head was in the way. The buffers came together, his head was caught in between them. He said it sounded like it was the cracking of a coconut. But then the buffers rebound, he dropped to the ground. Unfortunately, he didn't die straight away. They called for a doctor and he died just after he arrived. He was only 16 years old.
That's awful.
Do people think he's here?
He's one of the figures that people believe they've seen looking out the window. We always say to people, you can put your torch in any of the windows, that's fine, just be prepared what might be looking back at you.
With this word of caution from CAG, we move on to the second building we'll be investigating tonight. And apparently, this one's rumored to have some of the more terrifying hauntings.
So this is the Fluck Pavilion, and this is the pavilion that I like the least. This is, to me, the creepiest one. And if anybody leaves anything behind, you just hope it's not the Fluck Pavilion.
You don't want to come back here in the dark by yourself?
No, it's not. I will do it, but it's not my favourite place to be, you know. These carriages and wagons here were involved in the first terrorism act on Australian soil. 1st of January 1915, the picnic train, as it was called, was leaving Silverstone to go on, obviously, a picnic. It was a massive event every year. These were all carriages, and they swept them out, and there was standing room only, about 2,000 people, I think it was, on these carriages. And as it pulled off into the clearing, there was shots fired from a nearby hill. It killed numerous people. One of them was a young lady called Alma. She actually got shot straight in the forehead and was killed. You could imagine the terror because it was standing room only. You've got nowhere to go, and you've got these shots fired, and you don't know where it's coming from. All right, So this is the baggage carriage. It's got a nice sitting area at the front, nice sitting area at the back, and then you've got like a storage area in the middle. I had a group of ladies, lovely ladies on tour, and I'd already spoke to them ages ago about, if you're going to put your a torch on in the window, just be careful what you see, because you're looking back at you. So she came up, she put a torch on into this window here. She screamed and jumped backwards. And she says, "Oh, you could have told me about the mannequin in there." What mannequin? We don't have mannequins in these carriages. And she said standing there was a male, and he was wearing a white coat. But there's never been anything in there. There's never been a mannequin in there.
The final place of interest for our investigation tonight at the National Railway Museum sits at the back of the Fluck Pavilion, and CAG definitely saved the best for last.
So this is the 144, where we've had weird things happen. Sometimes you can hear things inside the 144 that the people on the outside can't hear. So like trains, whistling, but the brake van is the main carriage here.
The one with the most activity?
Yeah. And in here we've had people acting really, really strange. It doesn't happen all the time. We had one young lady, she went through every single emotion possible.
Can we get her out maybe?
It went on for ages. She was laughing hysterically, angry, crying, all sorts of really weird things. And then the other one was a gentleman who, to me, looked like he was having a stroke. The equipment kept coming out with his name, and then every so often he'd start to do this, and his face would all contort and his hands would come up, to the point where he has said he'd never step foot in the NRM again.
What do you think could be in there that's affecting people?
I don't know. Whatever's in there obviously isn't very nice. But is it the carriage or is it the area? And also what's a good thing to do as well is if you're doing nesties, put one of you in here and the other one go in that one with some equipment.
That's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
So with that, Dave, we've heard a lot about the history and the hauntings of the National Railway Museum here in Port Adelaide, South Australia. Hopefully we can come in contact with something that has been reported here, whether it be the sounds, whether it be the figures, apparitions, shadows, or being physically affected by something. The only thing we can do is get started investigating and find out. You ready to set up an abandonment and see what we can get when the train carriages are completely empty?
I've got a good feeling about this one. Let's do it.
Okay.
Oh wait, can't see. Just let me turn this off.
Here at the National Railway Museum, the paranormal activity would begin before we even got all the cameras set up. In the dining car, the Flux's proximity sensor was triggered, and then a strange mist appears to float from the Flux towards the EDI Plus, and disappear directly into it as the meter detects a change in air pressure. It could just be a coincidence, as paranormal investigation is purely experimental. But this had us scratching our heads, and it's a great way to start off this abandonment session. All right, we are currently...
Scratch.
You can do that to me if you'd like. We're currently set up for abandonment. We have 3 cameras here in the main building. Allison from Adelaide's Haunted Horizons is currently doing a live stream over in the Fluck Pavilion, so we'll focus on that during our investigation. But in this main building here, in this dining carriage, there is a camera set up with a bunch of equipment that could possibly interact and go off with anything that is paranormal. Ghost Tube is also running, so if it says anything and anything that is relevant, maybe we can correlate that to some of the history. Back in the music section of the men's and women's carriage, it was like a main common area. We have a camera set up with a bunch more equipment, and then out in the area where CAG told us they see a lot of figures moving back and forth, and one of the tour guides even saw a tall, looming figure behind them. There is the thermal imaging camera. So we're gonna leave this stuff set up and see what happens. We'll be back in about an hour. That was me. You can also touch this side if you'd like to set off a yes or no response, or just let us know that you're close by. Or you can knock any of this stuff over if you'd like. Either way. I don't know what that said. Either way, we'll be back. We're leaving!
Trapped. Evil.
We're back. Oh, this is creepy.
Isn't it?
It is. This is creepy. We'll begin our investigation in the Flock Pavilion at the baggage carriage, where Cag had a tour guest see a full-bodied apparition.
She screamed and jumped backwards when she says, "Oh, you could have told me about the mannequin in there." What mannequin? We don't have mannequins in these carriages.
We'll be joined by Allison and Cag for this session in the hopes that the man that was seen will show himself to us. Whoa.
What was that? Ooh, that one.
Mel. I'll just let that get up here. Wow. Is there someone there? Rolling. This is gonna go with the action cam because action cam audio is awful. Can you go up to that again for us and stand right beside it?
Is that Mel or the...
Yeah.
Mel.
Wow.
Can you say your name out loud? There's a red light that should be able to hear your voice. Try and get as close to it as you can to let us know that it's you. Or there's another one. Whoa.
It's not us moving, is it?
Try again.
And what was interesting, when Ryan went in there with the voice recorder, it didn't do anything, did it?
No.
You came back out and it started off again.
That's true.
There's another one behind Dave here in this other cabin, in this other part of the carriage. It's on a seat. If you can find it, you can light it up as well. It'll make the sounds, the lights will turn on.
Did something happen to you in there where you're making that go off?
Get as close to it as you can.
If something happened to you in there, maybe you got hurt, maybe you passed away, can you try lighting that up again for us?
The Melmeter didn't alarm again, but my digital voice recorder captured something that we couldn't hear.
Can you try lighting that up again for us?
Roll on the Ghost Tube Vox here and see if any voices will come through that could possibly be paranormal. Whoa.
Can you try and talk through that device to see if you can hear yourself?
I should be.
Well, that's creepy.
I just want to set this right here, if that's okay.
Yeah.
You're making this device light up right here on the ground. That's good. That's what we want you to do. But we can also hear your voice, and you can hear your own voice if you try and talk through this. Can you do that for us?
Funny, ever since you put the Vox in there, that light hasn't gone off.
No. Maybe it's afraid of it.
What if I walk back over here with it? That was me. How about this? I'm gonna use this.
Whoa.
That's going off again, not now.
Are you for real?
Space? Use space something. That's weird. That is so weird.
Obviously didn't like that, did it?
No.
It would be scary for a child or to have a box that talks.
What if I set another one, another box up right here, and this one, if you stand in front of it, it'll play music. Calibrating. I'll show you how it works. If you walk, just like that one, but if you walk in front of it, hear the pretty music. Can you light up one of those or make the music play if you are just a kid, just a child? Was that outside?
Dad, I'm standing stock still, so that wasn't me.
No, it wasn't any of us.
I don't know what that was.
I don't either.
I thought it was down your end, the other end of the carriage there.
Yeah, it almost sounded like it came from down by where the camera is. Do you not like when there's other things near the light? Now that I turn the music on, it hasn't gone off.
Does all of this scare you? Does it frighten you?
Let me try an experiment. I'm going to go grab it. I know you just put it in there.
That's fine. Yeah, no, you can move it into the back carriage here, the back part.
Would you like me to come in there and move that other device out for you?
During this session, the Melmeter's proximity function has acted very strangely.
Can you go up to that again for us and stand right beside it?
When we first started, it seemed to be going off on command.
Is that the Mel or the...
Yeah.
But every time we tried to put more equipment in the seating area, the whole carriage fell silent. So Dave decides to remove the paranormal music box to see if that will have any effect on the paranormal activity inside the baggage carriage.
Can you let us know if he's still there by setting that light off? And stand next to it.
Come on, do you have to light that light up again? Shows that you're still there.
Thank you.
Cool.
Wow.
That's cool.
That is so cool. Thank you very much for listening to us.
Who are we speaking to? Who are we talking to?
Really struggling to get the right angle here.
That was Dave, by the way, that just set off the flux, in case anyone sees it on that wide angle.
Can you set that device?
Thank you.
Cool.
Wow.
You didn't even have to finish asking.
Thank you. Well, my question was before that went off a minute ago, so I was going to ask if whatever spirit is here recognized you two from the tours that you give here.
Yeah. Thank you.
What was that?
That's your sign to come and take a tour with Adelaide Haunted Horizons.
Can you light that up if you like these ladies? If you find them nice and agreeable?
Agreeable.
I'm trying to use old-time slang here.
That's not
I'm going to say that's a no. Do you like the young men we got here? I told you they were really nice and worth playing with. That's so wrong. All of the room just goes silent.
We like to have a good laugh, do you? If you do, set that off. Maybe I will go sit in there just for a sec.
Sometimes feels like the whole carriage, when nobody's moving, like the whole carriages.
That was Dave again on the
Motion.
flux.
Whoa.
Oh,
Maybe they don't want you to leave.
Do you like Dave?
Do you like our funny accents, our funny voice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this the man that was seen through the window? Can you light that up if you...
Whoa. There was a little girl who said she looked in here and saw a man. Was that you?
If that's you, can you push it over? Push that thing over that you're making light up and beep? Whoa.
What's that?
that wasn't a building noise.
No,
No,
that was
that's-
different. That sounded like the door going.
Yeah, that sounded like something slamming. Whoa.
Wow. It's going all the way to purple.
Somebody come in.
Just before the Mel meter alarms at its strongest so far tonight, we hear and capture what sounds like the door to the Fluck Pavilion slamming closed on the other side of the building.
Whoa.
What's that?
Whoa.
What's that?
Yeah, that sounded like something slamming. Whoa.
As we've said, the Mel meter is behaving very strangely. And as it continues to alarm, the REM pod, backed by Dave, sits silent.
Can you step away from that to make it stop beeping for me? If you just come in here for a second. That way we know that it's you and not someone else, right?
I've got another one of those back here. Would you like to try it? Look, I'm pointing right at it. It's right here.
Either, can you make it go all the way to the top, to the red light? Make the red light come on.
Were you upset that Ryan was getting ready to come in there? Can one of us come in there? If you'd like that, can you make it go off again?
Can you make it light up more strongly if you want us to stay out of there? If you want to be left...
Wow.
If you want to be left alone and you want us to leave, if you...
Wow.
So you want us to leave the carriage? All of us?
As we move on to the next session, Allison decides to go home because she's suffering from a migraine. This leaves just 3 of us, and to cover the most ground we'll have to split up. I'll go to the ladies' carriage, alone, while Dave and Cag see what waits for them inside the dining carriage. And before they're even finished setting up, someone tries to speak to them.
I didn't know. Did you just make a sound?
Like what?
I heard like a...
I don't think I made it sound like that, but I'm not quite sure.
That was very strange. I didn't know. Did you just make a sound?
Okay, so I am officially alone in the ladies' carriage. On the walkthrough, Cag told us that men generally don't get the warmest welcome back here. Simply because men weren't really allowed back here, so figured this would be probably the best place to do a solo mission for me while Cag and Dave are in the dining carriage.
So Cag and I are just getting started here in the dining cart. Ryan went all the way down to the ladies' parlor.
Ladies' carriage, yeah.
The ladies' carriage. Mm-hmm. And we're going to split up for a little bit to see if we can get something to happen.
All right. So I want to know have we got a gentleman here tonight that likes to frighten my guests on the tours? If you're here, can you light up one of the lights or make a noise for me, please?
If there's any ladies in here, I don't mean you any harm. I know it's probably pretty strange that I'm in here.
Undecided.
Is there anyone here that wants to speak to me? What are you undecided about? You can speak to me. If you want me to do something, you want me to leave, all you have to do is tell me.
How about if I ask for a drink? I would like a gin and tonic, ice and a slice, and can I have it very quickly, please? Noise. I'd like my drink now, please. Are you okay with that? If you are, can you light the lights up? Was that you moving?
I didn't move a muscle.
Did you hear that?
I did. I still hear it.
So it's down that end?
Yes.
That's the end where... That's vibration.
Yeah. Something is vibrating. Whoa. No way.
Oh, how cool's that? For it to go off down that end as well. Okay, thank you. Oh, no, it stops. Thank you so much for that. Was that you making that vibration down there? It's almost like the windows were rattling as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that was very strange.
That's the end where... That's vibration.
Yeah.
That's the end where... That's vibration.
Yeah. Does that happen in here?
I've had it once. Okay, hello. Can you just step away from that for just a moment for me? Thank you.
Fight, Anthony.
Fight Anthony or bite Anthony. Who's Anthony? I'm gonna set this right here, this ball, and if you'd like to light it up, you can, or if you'd like to throw it off the table, you can do that too. Whichever one you would like to do.
Fight, Anthony. Fight, Anthony.
Is there a lady back here who wants to speak to me? This was the ladies' carriage and they say that there's a woman in here. What's your name, ma'am? Get as close to me as you can. You can use my energy. You can touch me. You can push me. You can move me. You can do whatever you need to let me know that you're here. I'm from America. I've traveled a long way. And I'd love to be able to have a chat with you so we can talk about your life.
So that started out with us hearing a noise, then the windows vibrating, and then the Mel going crazy.
That was weird, wasn't it?
Yes.
I've only had that vibration once, and that was a while ago. Okay. And once in how many years we've been here, we've had this ready for a long time. I was told by a guest a few months ago now that you actually moved a chair. Think you could do that for us, please?
Gentlemen, there is a lady here, and she'd like to sit down. Can you pull out a chair for her?
Okay, did you hear that?
I did. Right at the end of the corridor here, in the doorway, on the ground, there's a little device that is blinking. Can you try and stand beside of that for me?
It's rattling again.
Yeah.
Why is that rattling? It's we're inside a building.
I don't know.
But the carriage isn't rattling. The carriage isn't moving.
No.
The windows rattling on the dining car is something that we can't find an explanation for. Cag and Dave can't feel the carriage shaking. They can only hear the windows rattling.
Why is that rattling? It's really inside the building. But the carriage isn't rattling. The carriage isn't moving.
No.
The carriage is inside, so it's not wind pushing on the windows. And it's on the same track as the ladies' carriage where I am. So if the ground was shaking due to seismic activity, I'd also be experiencing it in the next train car. If you have any idea what Cag and Dave could be experiencing here, let us know in the comments below. I want to know where you were going on the train. Can you tell me where you were traveling to?
Oh dear.
Yeah, so it feels like something's in here. Like a...
It feels good. It does steel almost.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know where that rattling's coming from.
I don't either.
These windows shouldn't rattle, even if they are loose. They shouldn't rattle because we are inside a massive shed. All the doors are closed.
Right, yeah.
So, I've been working for Haunted Horizons for over 8 years. I was coming long before then as a guest and used to come in here. And I have never, this is the only second time that I've heard the windows rattle.
And I'm sure you spend a fair amount of time on here.
Spend a lot of time in here. So I don't understand why the windows are rattling.
Me either. Very, very weird.
And to have those noises down there and have the windows rattling and the piece of equipment going off, that was pretty cool.
It was. Yes, it was. Is there a room beyond this, or is this as far as it goes?
This is as far as it goes.
Okay. If you need to step out, Cag, you can.
I might have to.
Yeah. If you need
I just can't talk.
Yeah, if you need to go grab a drink or whatever, just don't forget to cut your audio.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, that's me.
No, you're good. All right, Cag's getting a little bit choked up from some dust in here. So she's going to make her way back outside. So that leaves me alone on this end and Ryan alone on that end.
Morning.
What are you warning me about? Or maybe you said morning. But I thought I heard warning. I could be wrong, but is there something that I'm doing wrong?
Run away.
Why would I want to run away? Is there something that is going to hurt me here? Is there someone that is dangerous?
Light.
Light. Yeah, can you make the light turn on?
My friend has left, so it's just me in here now. Do you want to come out and talk now? Can you knock on something? Let me know you're here.
Yeah, I mean, from what you said, it was quiet in here after you had that really strange occurrence at the very beginning. And then in my session over in the ladies' carriage, I've gotten nothing but for a couple of ghost tube responses that weren't really that relevant. So I would say nothing at all in the ladies' carriage. So unless something's happening over there right now. But the area that Cag talked about being the most physically effective towards investigators and guests is the break van over in the Fluck Pavilion. You want to go over there and do an Estes Method spirit box session, see if we can communicate with whoever is affecting people there?
Let's do it. Let's go.
Let's do it. As we start this session, we're about to encounter something that's never happened to us. As you may know, we always record the spirit box audio during the Estes Method so that you can listen and hear the voices with us. Is this Sir?
Yes.
On this session, we won't be able to do that. And the reason has us just as confused as you probably are. But before we show you what happened, we need to share with you how we have recorded our Estes Spirit Box audio for years. We start with any spirit box of our choosing and a digital voice recorder. Instead of just plugging the headphones into the spirit box, we run the audio directly into the voice recorder's microphone port. Then we connect our headphones to the voice recorder's headphone port. So with only one extra cable, we can hear the spirit box audio through the headphones as it passes through the voice recorder and is captured. Plus, we never forget to record, because you can't hear anything through the headphones unless the voice recorder is recording. What we hear in the headphones has already been captured by the voice recorder, so we know we can share the responses in our episodes with you as they occur. Now for the problem. You can hear the spirit box's normal sweep coming through the headphones when Dave isn't wearing them. And because he's listening to the audio from the recorder, the final recorded file should be identical because that's what he's listening to in real time. But it doesn't sound identical at all. It sounds like this. Not only does it sound like an alien spaceship landing, none of the voices that Dave hears in the moment ended up on the audio file. So for this session, we'll just have to trust what Dave hears for himself, because this Estes Method Spirit Box session is beyond weird. Okay, I'm back in here. Dave has the headphones on.
Get off.
Who do you want to... Do you want someone to leave? Are you upset with someone? In the break van. My friend Dave is sitting in the seat. It's the same seat where you affected a young man.
Dave?
That is Dave standing or sitting there with the headphones, with the things on his ears.
I'm Joe.
I'm Joe. Who is Joe? Are you a passenger or were you a crew member? Who are you then? Who are you then, Joe?
Your name.
My name is Ryan. What brings you here, Joe? Is there someone out there?
The patient.
The patient. Was there ever someone transported in the break van that shouldn't have been there? Can you please tell me who is
It's
it?
feeling very strange in here.
Are you affecting Dave just like you affected all the others?
It's feeling cold on my left side.
If you're in there, knock something over, Joe. Move something.
Can someone touch one of these devices?
Dave.
That is Dave.
Curse. Beckon. Sakraraz. Window.
It said curse, beckon, sacrares. Whatever that means. Sacrares. Window.
Still feeling cold on my left side.
Should I look out the window right now? Cag said, if you look out the windows or in the windows, be prepared to see someone.
I'm working.
You're working.
Are you in here?
No. No, I'm I'm sitting down now.
I just felt something like kick right beside my foot.
Really?
Yes. Putting my headphones back on.
Okay.
Are you outside the window?
I was waiting for Dave.
Well, he has the headphones back on now. Can you say something to him? Are you affecting Dave right now? Are you in there making him feel things?
People.
What do people feel?
Heaven.
People feel heaven? This is getting creepy. Do you mean to do people harm?
I'm now feeling cold air on both sides of me.
Are you surrounding him? It would be so creepy if suddenly...
I heard my name again.
Yes, that's Dave. Do you want Dave? Do you want Dave to
I'm
stay?
sorry.
You don't have to be sorry. What are you sorry for? It would be beyond creepy to see something in the windows or through the window.
Gosh.
What?
Are you still over there?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Still sitting down. What's wrong?
I just felt something tug on my pant leg, and then I felt something tickle my arm.
That's creepy. Are you in there with Dave right now?
Headphones on.
Are you touching Dave?
Uh-huh.
Who's in here with me? Dude, what the f***? This is... Are you in here with me now? Make that light up even further. Can you make it go all the way up? Whoa. Popping off. Who are you? That has been quiet the whole time I've been sitting in here. Are you messing with us?
Yeah.
Who are you? Take a step back. Step back. Do you want me to leave? Okay, Dave.
Yeah?
Let's pack it up.
Okay.
We're overtime now. That was fucking weird, though.
Was it?
Yeah, that was very weird.
All right, we'll talk about it on the way back.
Yes. Let's close this out. So that ends another investigation here on our trip to Australia. Another very haunted location. This one actually very much surprised us, especially here at the 144 in the brake van. I am excited to tell Dave what we were capturing, what the responses were. Of course, you guys watching, you already know. So make sure you hit that like button and make sure you share the video with your friends and family to help support the channel. If you want to support us additionally, we have a Patreon as well as a channel membership program where you can actually support us additionally and you get additional perks for your additional support. Make sure if you're new here you subscribe to the channel and turn on bell notifications so you never, ever miss an episode. And we would love to bring you along for the ride to some of the most haunted locations in the world on our paranormal quest. Until next time, guys, stay safe, take care. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.